This is Carrion, a new title by Phobia Game Studio and Devolver Digital where you are the monster. You are the menace that must be stopped, and you are the otherworldly danger that is terrorizing a crew at a facility. Through stealth tactics, upgrades, and sheer force of will, you must devour and destroy those who imprisoned you in the first place. Carrion gives us a disgusting and grimy industrial art style that really does a great job at setting a gritty tone. The creature that you control is this amorphous blob of red gore and teeth. The way it moves with its tendrils and the way you devour your enemies is so gruesome and satisfying visually. The save points are these awful little nests that truly feel otherworldly and Lovecraftian. I love this game's art style. It's an absolute joy to look at, and it perfectly captures the grimy and disgusting tone of creature features from the 80s and 90s. The game's fantastic visuals are paired with a haunting and sinister soundtrack. Honestly, I was expecting a straight up ripoff of Carpenter's The Thing when it comes to score, but Carrion gives us some fresh tracks that pair extremely well with the carnage that you're committing. Carrion's presentation is utterly fantastic with fluid movement and design. I can't think of a way to make this any better aside from removing unnecessary and constantly repeating voice lines from the humans. As you can imagine, Carrion's gameplay consists of slaughtering humans and devouring them to grow and heal, tearing through the facility through various entrances and hallways and corridors, and upgrading yourself in a fittingly thematic way, and gaining new horrible powers to use to instill terror on your enemies. However, these humans won't be pushovers for long. As you grow in power, so do they, and they can unleash deadly weapons to combat you, and if you aren't careful, a single human can take you out. Carrion's gameplay is quick and fluid. When you're looking at this monster you're controlling, it looks as if the game is going to give you tank-like or really heavy controls. But no, Carrion has a really unique way of letting you control the monster while still feeling familiar. The game has plenty of opportunities to let you stealth kill your foes and use the environment around you to overcome your obstacles. The game is separated into zones that you need to explore fully and breach. Once you do, you can move on to the next zone. You can also go back to other zones and explore areas that were previously impossible to with your current abilities at the time. Some may call this backtracking, and while I agree with them, I also see it as a way of lengthening a really short game. Without all the backtracking and exploring that the game encourages you to do, Carrion is a 4-hour game that's stretched to 5. However, I can safely say that there aren't any slow or boring moments in the game. Carrion keeps your attention for the entirety that you're playing it. It balances feeding you enemy encounters and puzzle sequences pretty perfectly. There are a ton of corridors and hallways to explore, and there is no map or objective log, so it's pretty easy to get lost and frustrated if you take a break from the game and come back to it later. Honestly though, that's the best complaint I could think of for this game, and it's really not that big of a deal. Carrion's narrative is pretty interesting. I won't go into details here, but what I will say is the game keeps you interested in its story for the entire duration, and it has a very ambiguous and chilling ending. For $20, Carrion is a really great game that's well worth a playthrough. Sure, it's short, but it's a game that offers extremely fun and fluid gameplay in a short but sweet experience where you are the villain of a horror movie.